Gina and Jason look like they have it all, but there's a problem. He wants a baby, and she's not ready.
I don't know if I know what being a mother is.
I'm one of those people, I get what I want.
Can their marriage survive once they bring the baby home?
New at all this.
Yeah.
Guess you should have took a class, huh?
For some reason, he seems to think that he knows best about just about everything.
Coming up on Birthdays.
It's very real now. Mommy's a basket case.
She became, like, overwhelmed.
The intimacy thing is a problem.
Dad got sleep last night, Mom not so much so.
Hi, baby.
She's kicking.
Is she?
Yep, she likes that. I'm Gina, and I'm 28 years old.
I'm Jason. I'm 33 years old.
I was thrown a complete curveball. I got pregnant a lot sooner than I had anticipated.
I wanted a baby with her. I wanted to start a family with her, and I wanted it yesterday.
I can't see down there.
You haven't been able to see down there for about 6 months.
3. I had this plan, this 5 years, or, you know, somewhere in the future, not now.
My influence on her having a child was 90%, and hers was 10%, and she gave in because I always win. What do you think, huh?
I would worry about somebody who could be swayed into something as important as that. That's a large decision to do to please somebody else. Now, I think there's some people who, upon having a baby, would then just buck up and love it, but that's not guaranteed.
Morning. Are you gonna put your dishes away?
You don't have that done yet?
She is not a typical woman. She does not do the dishes. She does not cook like most women do. She does not house clean.
He's a little bit of a neat freak, so he's usually on me about putting the dishes in the dishwasher, and so he's on me about that quite a bit.
Around this house, you would have to call me the woman sometimes.
Are these dirty?
Yes, I'll wash them. Just put them in the sink and I'll wash them later.
Done.
Smart ass.
Both Gina and Jason run their own businesses from home. He manages entertainment shows around the world, and Gina teaches yoga and Pilates.
Prior to being pregnant, I was very focused on building up my Pilates and yoga business. I think the hardest part about being pregnant was the first 3 months. I didn't know how to feel about it. It was kind of exciting, and then it was kind of scary, and then it was this overwhelming of so many emotions rushing in, and so that took some wrapping my head around, but I knew Jay was going to be so excited.
I'm gonna hook up the webcam. This way we can keep an eye on her at all times.
Jay has the personality of go big or go home, so everything about him is got to be the best, the biggest.
Get an idea of center of the crib here. Now we'll go over to the office. I would have to say, until I do wrong, I'm right. And I'm sure I'll fail at a lot of things being a father. You know, nobody's perfect. But until the time somebody says you're doing it wrong, then I won't think any otherwise. I'm gonna be probably the best dad there is.
Our personality is formulated in the first 6 years of life. And we take that personality into all our endeavors. And that includes into our intimate relationships, which includes our marriages, and it includes raising our kids. And we've got to really look at what's in our kind of baggage of our own upbringing, and how does that either help us parent or interfere with the way that we parent. And for every person, there will be the positives and the negatives of what they experienced in their own childhood.
Growing up, I had a mom that she was great in her own way, but she wasn't the mothering type. And so I don't know if I know what being a mother is, and the typical or the traditional role model of a mother. Maybe it's instinctual somewhere inside me, but it's something that I'm definitely thinking about how am I going to be a good mom and what it, you know, what that involves.
They're planning a home birth, but not for the usual reasons.
I've always had a really high sensitivity to any kind of drugs. It seems to affect me a lot more than it would affect the normal person. So my fear is that if I do have to go to the hospital and I am given something like an epidural or any kind of drug, that it's going to be too much for me.
So did you guys have any questions? Anything that's come up?
I'm just waiting. Is there any way I can help push it along? I can't be any more ready than I am right now. And I just want, I mean, if I could push the baby out now, I would go up behind her, squeeze her gut, and just, you know, pop the baby out.
12 days after her due date, Gina suffers what she thinks is labor.
It's basically slowed down now.
Yeah. Your water hasn't broken yet, right?
No.
I don't think so.
You'd know it.
Coming up, pain and suffering threaten Gina's home birth.
More than 1 day.
Gina and Jason are having a baby, even though Gina wanted to wait.
I was thrown a complete curveball.
She gave in because I always win.
Now, a long and painful labor threatens the home birth, and Gina is at the breaking point.
Sorry, Gina. So your cervix is about 4 to 5. So not a lot of change since earlier. And I'm trying to feel what position the baby's head, and it doesn't feel as well applied as it did earlier. We'll give this another 2 hours and see. Like I said, we should be seeing sort of that progress. When you don't, you start wondering why.
It's been more than 36 hours, and Gina is only 4 or 5 centimeters dilated. The baby's head has shifted, making it impossible for Gina to push or dilate.
There's something called latent phase labor, which can go on for days. And latent phase labor are very painful contractions, but they're irregular. There's not a set pattern, and they're painful, but they're not effective.
I've had enough right now. I'm open for whatever suggestions anybody's got, because we've tried everything now.
The decision is finally made to go to the hospital.
This sucks. I'm so tired. I can't wait to go to sleep.
Once at the hospital, things move quickly. Gina receives an epidural.
Keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming, keep it coming.
Good.
Good, Gina, keep it coming. One more, come on, all the way down there. Right round that corner. Keep it coming in your bum. Okay, Gina.
Oh.
Okay, ready?
Give action.
Yeah.
Okay, let's
push.
go. There she comes. There she is. There she's crying.
And baby Naomi is born, weighing 7 pounds and 1 ounce.
Okay, Gina. 4. There, well done, well done.
It was great to see her and know that she was healthy and she was beautiful, but at the same time I was just like, oh, thank gosh, finally.
Look at our little one. What are we gonna do with you?
She's still sleeping.
She's all cozy. She does a few little head bobs here and there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bringing the baby home, we were so exhausted.
What a long weekend.
All of a sudden, we're parents. You have this baby next to you. We have no idea what is
What's to come next.
What's gonna happen next.
Coming up, Jason and Gina struggle with the new baby and each other.
I'm still trying to figure it out.
She should have took the class, huh? I can hold on to her.
Gina and Jason now have the child that Jason always wanted.
I'm gonna be probably the best dad there is.
It was a long and painful labor, and now that they're home, Gina faces an even bigger hurdle, being a mom.
I don't know if I know what being a mother is.
1 minute, it's like amazing that we have this perfect little human being, and then the next minute she's screaming and you're not sure if you're doing anything right. I know for me, Jay's been such a good dad, and she seems to calm down with him.
I don't know if it's like a hormone that I might give off or something. I don't know what it is. Just the baby feels comfortable around me.
He seems to know what to do, so I've been feeling a little bit funny about that. Like, how come she responds to him and not me? And you know, I'm supposed to have those motherly instincts, and I'm supposed to be the one that knows what to do.
I think I missed something. Okay, so you cross this over, and then what do you do with the bottom?
It's too big. Okay, pull her off for a sec. This one's way too big right now for her size.
He's almost like a Mr. Mom, where he's the one that knows best, and he's the one that's, knows how to do everything right.
Put her shoulders, like her ears, right next to there.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. I guess it's just common sense, more or less. Like, I don't know if it's why I have such a maternal instinct. I guess it's almost like it just kicks in and you sort of know what to do, and you just can't be afraid, I think is what it is. If you're afraid of the baby, then I think they may sense that and know it.
There's nothing wrong with a father being Mr. Mom as long as he's a good Mr. Mom. Somebody has to play the role of the nurturant, attentive, constant parent. And it doesn't matter particularly whether it's the man or the woman. Traditionally it's the woman, but we're free to make choices our ancestors weren't necessarily free to make. If a dad is honest to goodness prepared to do the real job, that's just fine. Kids don't mind the whiskers.
You want to eat now, Drew?
You want to sit in your chair?
Yeah.
But Jason's Mr. Mom act reinforces Gina's own insecurities as a mom.
Oh, it's okay, sweetie. It's okay. Mama's doing all this stuff, I know. Yeah? What do you think of that? We have to teach her all this stuff, huh? It's pretty sad. Mama doesn't know what to do yet.
At some points during the day, it feels so overwhelming. Like, I'm trying to feed her and I'm hungry, and I've got her on my breast and there's my food there, but I can't quite reach it. I'm still trying to figure it out, so.
Did you get your shirt wet? Hey, silly girl.
Well, I think it was like this morning that I changed her diaper for the first time. I'm like going, okay, well, where is everything? And I get her diaper on and her pants, and I go, oh, I forgot her Vaseline. Oh well.
Did you put Vaseline on her? So the tabs line up with the belly button.
Okay, honey. Where do I put the Vaseline?
Just around the edges.
On her bum, right?
Yeah, Mama's new at all this.
Yeah.
Guess she should have took a class, huh?
He's touched a couple nerves. We'll see what happens, but I'm hoping it's not too overpowering, because he's certainly got his opinions and how things should be done, and for some reason he seems to think that he knows best about just about everything.
Yeah, the baby's too high.
Hello?
You should let her rest on the pillow. That way it doesn't hurt your arm.
That's too high.
No, you're lifting your head.
Breastfeeding, it's all about, I think, technique and practice. And I had some mixed instructions or advice.
See what's happening right now. She's like this.
Is that good or?
Oh, bad. You want her going this way.
You're in a state of like, oh God, like, what am I doing wrong? I had her in the wrong spot, and she's just either pulling on it or tugging on it. And I could feel that it was wrong, but I didn't know how to fix it.
Every time I try and position her, she gets all worked up.
Try a different hole, man. Maybe try a football hole.
What's this? What's this?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah, like if you go like this with her.
Just leave her for a bit. I think she's just getting rest.
We had a crisis point. The baby was having a hard time sleeping. I was extremely tired.
We were trying to figure out how to get her to go to sleep.
She was crying. She wouldn't stop crying.
We didn't even know which cries meant what. I didn't really know how to breastfeed, so I wasn't sure if I just wasn't doing it right or if she just wasn't interested in eating. And that's when the issues about, our differences about what we thought was the right thing to do really came up about, should we give her a soother or shouldn't we? Should we give her water, like sugar water, or shouldn't we? So I was reluctant to try that, and Jay had already called his friends and they'd said, oh, it was fine. And so he'd already prepared a bunch of bottles, and meanwhile, I'm trying everything but those options.
She has ideas of the breastfeeding and the bottle feeding and everything else. And my thoughts on it is, if a baby is happy and content on doing what makes her happy, let her do it.
We can't make her stop crying, but we can agree on what the next step is.
It was something stupid to lose my temper over, but I lost it. I basically snapped from lack of sleep. And I screamed and yelled at her, she yelled at me, and I kind of stormed out of the room, came downstairs, watched TV, and then came upstairs afterwards, and, we said our story and we went to bed.
Yeah, there's things that have come up that I didn't even assume would be issues. In the last couple days, he'll be looking after her, and she'll be really quiet, and I'll go up and she's got a soother in her mouth. And
I'm not perfect, but I'm no idiot either. So if I do something wrong, I'll know not to do it again the next time. If it worked that time, I'll remember, okay, that worked. So I'm not gonna get down on myself because I've never done this. I can't do this in a rush. I should have done this 4 days ago. Like, we're supposed to be leaving for your dad's in 5 minutes, and we're not even packed.
5 minutes?
I said we'd leave between 1 and 1:30 so we could be there before Diane got there.
I thought you said 1:30 or 2.
You want me to pack everything?
You want to leave her with me and then just put some things in the car?
Where are you going to put her while you're doing this? You're cutting with scissors. Cut her finger off? I can hold on to her.
Can you guys stop filming?
Whatever touches our nerves during the day, everyday stuff really comes out if we're having an argument. That's where I really find out how he really feels about certain things.
Coming up, Jason and Gina try to find their way.
I came in handy a little bit there.
There was a day where I just told him off.
As first-time parents, Gina and Jason are trying to find their way. Jason's been taking over, and that has made Gina feel even more insecure about her fears of being a mom.
How come she responds to him and not me?
You just can't be afraid, I think is what it is. The first night when we came in and Gina was having a little bit of difficulty with the breastfeeding, I came in handy a little bit there. Like, it was, I really helped out as much as I could.
You helped make things more complicated.
No.
Is that good? Or?
No, if I had water going this way.
At first, I was a little bit intimidated, and there were some times where he was a little overpowering with, this is how you do it, and let me show you, or never mind, I'll do it, and kind of undermining my wanting to be a part of it. And there was some moments where I thought that maybe I just didn't have the skills or was less adequate. And then I think there was a day where I just told him off, and then we started working together. So I said that's, I told him how I felt, and
no one ever wants to hear that you're undermining the other person. But, when she did make a few comments and say, listen, this is what you're doing, and you go back and you think about it, and, really I was. And, that's not what I want to do. I don't want to make her feel inadequate. I want the opposite. I want her to feel like she's a part of this as much as I am. Hi, how are you, sir? I'm all right. Just sitting here with the baby, actually.
He's always dreamed of being a dad and having a child, and I think if he had dolls, he would have played with them.
Yes, I wanted the baby and everything, but I also wanted her to be a part as much as I was excited. So, and then watching her, start playing with the baby and, getting involved in it and not be afraid, was, amazing. It was, it was just something that, the biggest fear, of mine was that she wouldn't feel like she's a good mother. And she had said that a few times.
I think that I've realized that I'm not my mother, and that the only way for me to be a better mom is to be me. I've been able to start back at work part-time, and my approach on classes has grown. I'm able to incorporate her into some of my classes. I'm teaching the mom and baby classes. At this stage, it's allowed me that space and that pause in my work life to really examine what I've been doing and how I want to approach the next step and how I want things to progress and change and grow. And it's also given me a different outlook on life.
Babies do have a strange effect on people. Now Gina is doing the housework.
And then we just went around the house and did the dishes and did the laundry and
I find that very hard to believe.
cleaned up.
I love her now. Now that she's...
Oh, you didn't love me before?
Yeah. I loved you before just as much. I just love you even more now that you do the dishes.
Are you trying to undermine me here now?
No, you're always right.